You have to stem the bleeding in the lanes. You have to find a solution for how active this Primal Beast and this Nature's Prophet will be. Because once they get that ball rolling, the recovery process for, say, a hero like Abaddon after a slow game isn't the most straightforward when you have so much presence here out from the side of Falcons. Maybe you can kind of rely on PMA and Niku. It feels like this is the two connections you're looking for. Like a good start on your Timbersaw. Kaya timing can be quite nice. Get some durability up, you can get some things going.
Bounty Runes doesn't look like there's going to be any kind of fighting to break out. Should be a 2-for-2 trade. There is one left at the top side, but they will be able to secure for the side of Na'Vi. I'm going to say as well for Falcons draft play, it really does feel like they got all their comfort picks, didn't it? You know, just it feels like all the picks they've made very comfortable for these heroes. This top lane, Skidder, would get caught by Irides and Zayat. They're trying to be a little bit cheeky. This is going to be leveled up, drag him all the way back. Zayat, he's skilled up. Ooh. Sprout will come out, blocking the way for Skidder. That's not going to help his cause at all. Zayat still holding out, will eventually go for the brambles, but a nice juke away from Skidder, but the blood grenade is going to land. And first blood drawn by Zayat on the Dark Willow. And I love that kind of play, John. Just the preemptiveness to know he's going to be coming from that area.
Yeah, and that again, when you look at how they set up these lanes, when you look at the aggression that's coming up, let's say top lane with the MP plus Tusk, just finding that early opening does wonders for your early game here. We're already seeing some of those shenanigans on mid though, coming out from Malrine, cutting through creep waves, forcing it all under tower here. Niku shouldn't have a problem in farming, but you lose that impact of the Monkey King matchup when you're not allowed to bully the Primal Beast because he's just not playing lane. You've got the early ward set up, you're constantly going for the pull. And this is where the challenge lies for Niku. Yes, you're going to farm, but you're not crushing that lane like a Monkey King normally would up against a melee matchup. And if Malrine just gets his farm build-up and his EXP into that level 5 time we heard Panel talk about.
Yeah, you can see the warding as well from Falcons. Like, they've warded both the mid lane and the Radiant jungle, so there's no really cutting off Malrine from doing this. He'll have a heads up if they are making the rotation to try and stop this from happening. So heads up play from Falcons. But Niku, he can try to intervene. He's going to try it out with the Primal Spring. Force Malrine away a little bit, but the problem is the creep wave is going to go into his tier 1 tower. And so he will have to return and address that. Might miss a creep. Like he doesn't. But Malrine still going to be able to get away with this just fine. And Niku, he can't really connect with the creep waves.
It's going to hurt not being able to bully out this Primal Beast, this timing into the level 5, into just some free EXP for a hero that in this matchup shouldn't really have much if you play it directly head on. And it's going to be an interesting challenge for Niku. He's doing what he can, contesting when it's pulled behind the tier 1, trying to get some action going, but until you get maybe a support rotation out, let's say movement from your Disruptor, which as you mentioned is covered by the ward, it is going to be a consistent challenge here for Niku. So curious to see how the other legs getting a lot of early pressure out from Omar already. Yeah,
Riddy's going to be in big trouble. Glimpse already committed. Riddy's still trying to run, but Amar able to secure a kill for himself. Down to this bottom lane.
Dota 1? What's that?
You had items back then.
I mean, you know, but you'd run into lane with the dumbest items. Right? Like everyone had Sankiyashi or Vanguard or like all this weird stuff.
Don't remind me, John. Don't do that.
Those were the golden days.
Don't remind me of double Vanguard axe. Don't do that to me, John.
Good old days. Still, I think the one thing I'd like to see from Falcons up top is when we will see that commitment out from Skidder to maybe get some early movement out. This is one specialty on the Nature's Prophet, right? Like with the teleportation up, we've seen some teams just swing down on, keep that bullying going. It doesn't feel like you really need to do that just yet on Skidder. You are happy enough to just sit and farm, maybe look for an opportunity. You have the drinking buddies up here for snaking as well. He has been leading into this one much more often than the tag team that we've seen other players pick up, especially in the road to the Esports World Cup. I'm keen of seeing if that enough space into later on. Otherwise, a pretty quiet start. You are finding that farm you'd want on PMA. And we were talking about this Timbersaw being one of the keys for Na'Vi to hit their own tempo. You are kind of lined up pretty decently for what should be within expectations for, say, a Kaya timing and start to get that damage output up. It just feels like Falcons are still getting too much on mid. Again, you're still getting all of these pulls on Malrine. We haven't seen any commitment out the side of Na'Vi to try to punish. It's just free farm and free XP. Yeah, you're getting that same thing going for Niku. We'll have to see if his rotations come in earlier. I mean, he's got the level for it if you'd want. Level 5 already up. Could have tried to sit and wait until 6, but Wukong's isn't too important for the Monkey King to make a move across the map.
Niku. now. Not seeing any openings in the side lanes at all. And things are going relatively well even for Na'Vi though. Like the safe lane, yes, it's a little bit forgot the juice, but PMA's having a very free game on the Timbersaw. And well, Niku, while he isn't able to stop Malrine at all, he is still keeping on parity, which isn't exactly what you want, but you know, it's better than being behind, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's silver linings coming out. It's just going to come down to, and there's going to be an explosive moment, maybe by the first power rune, perhaps, a minute, although again, maybe not the most important here for both sides. Really building into what should be like this 8 to 10 minute mark, when levels start to come in, when some small items start to form up, start to get some openings to play with this early power spike. That's when I'd honestly like to see a little bit more out of, especially against the King of Niku.
Yeah, Niku just jumped a little bit there with the onslaught of Malrine. Try and turn out the onslaught is down, but Malrine plenty fast enough to be able to walk away from Niku. Has the phase boots up, so just won't really mind at all. And it looks like Malrine's probably going to be the first to start making rotations in the Primal Beast, especially around this 6-minute power rune mark. Take the power rune if you can, go for a rotation down bottom perhaps. Crit's already around to ensure they can guarantee the power rune for themselves. Unless it spawns top, of course. You are bringing snaking in as well, so they are putting a lot of priority on these power runes, Falcons. Riddies will show up down bottom. He is going to spawn up top, and Niku gets it anyway. The Niku manages to pick it up. They're going to make a chase on the snake to try and punish for this rotation. Snake's going to try and buy this time. There's no help coming for him. He's going to find his own way out. He'll get a nice shards off, but it's not going to make the difference. Snaking certainly going to go down. Niku very happy with that pickup. Glimpse back, crit. But the juice will come in. Crit force TP away. Thinking from crit, no real danger.
But this is the kind of movement you're looking for. Again, launching point in the power rune, a little bit of activity coming out from Niku. I think overall, you're not too upsetting Falcons. He had a massive stack that was kind of freely cleared here for Malrine in his triangle. He manages to get his level 6. He's got the threat of pulverize up, so long as he's also committed first. Chase him. Can you kill PMA?
They're going to give it a crack. PMA. Pulverize. Riddi's going to show up though with the glimpse in Malrine. But he can't do it himself, that's for sure. Rotation from Malrine, first one of the game, not really amounting to anything. I think PMA, arguably the hardest target to try and go for right now.
That he is. You need a lot of that magic damage to really come in. And you do have a decent chunk here if you can get the full trample going on Malrine, but up against that mobility in the Timbersaw can be a daunting task for the Primal Beast to kind of get that done by himself. At least until maybe you get some connections out from Crit. Good dead shot, of course, so Colin can fix that up, but didn't find the opportunity to make that move up top. They are still camping the area. Pulverize isn't the longest cooldown here.
I don't think they can get it. PMA, I'm pretty sure will there anyway. They're going to try with the Pulverize, but it does nothing. PMA more than happy to just tank that and just go back to the farming. They'll need at least a +1 if they want to try for PMA. See what Malrine does do. Looks like he might go through the twin gates and try bottom instead. That certainly feels like the more advised idea. Has got the juice, already looking to retreat. So it looks like they've read the movement quite well here, Na'Vi. Malrine, best he can do now, just try to secure the bottom tier 1 tower. No siege creep available, sadly, John, so it's going to be a bit of a slower process here for Malrine. Meanwhile, mid though, Niku, he's going to have damage rune, and even without the siege creep, he's going to make quick work of it if they don't do something about it.
I mean, it's been a lot of free space for Niku as well. Like, all that movement from Malrine came out. It's been free pickings for Niku, no threat bolts. Getting that steady build up. Has good wards as well to watch if anyone rotates onto the mid. Nice cheeky attempt out from Crit. Doesn't quite find it. 9. Get himself that nice build up now.
That's a nice looking tango, isn't it, John? That's a nice looking tango.
An amp damage tango. That should be a real item.
That should be an idea?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be good? What if you could tango the power rune?
No, think about it. Tango with amp, you get +5 damage. +2 damage. +2 damage.
+2 damage.
It's genius.
You combine it with like a branch?
No. It costs 65.
Okay. Whatever, one charge. Isn't that just like Fairy Fire with more steps?
We'll talk about it later, John. We'll talk about it later. Anyway, top lane. Tier 1 tower. You always shut me down, John. I always have these genius ideas, and you always go,
Yeah, that one's cool.
Isn't the same as this?
Yeah,
Well, it's not.
Somewhat.
It's not the same as the model. You get 3 charges, John. Genius.
Okay. Isn't that just like the old neutral Greater Fairy Fire?
Shut up, John. Just shut up.
That was a neutral. We're clearing out some stacks here, also clearing some neutrals on the side of Na'Vi, getting that build-up you'd want on PMA. And the Kaya timing on our Timbersaw is lining up nicely. In fact, that farm distribution for Na'Vi just looking a little bit sharper overall. You've sacrificed Got the Juice's build-up, but you got that momentum in from PMA and Miku. You are matching a Mark who's had a very free lane. That is some good news here for Na'Vi. That early tempo from Falcons, you know you're not getting that much rotations out from Skipper. He's going to be farming until the Maelstrom. And so you have that room to make some plays on Na'Vi. They're not fully committing for too much. A little bit of a smoke from Falcons. Unsure if that was fully spotted by the ward, though.
I think it might have been. They did pick up a shield rune from Malrine as well. That was definitely spotted. He might just stick around for these stacks. Miku is going to break the smoke, but immediately jumps away. I don't think Na'Vi let this go. I think they're going to intervene here and go for a fight. If the go to the stacks have been scouted, they've got the numbers to try and fight this one out. I mean, mind you, Malrine with the shield rune could prove to be a little bit too tanky. They are going to try and take the Ancients. Things are coming. They know it's happening. Na'Vi, they will indeed not try. They will let this go. Falcons will basically rob the side of Na'Vi.
Yeah, they steal away the massive ancient stacks that Na'Vi was not in position to really take themselves early on. At least just a large camp going their way, so you don't lose as much. But this passive style now for Na'Vi is feeding into what you'd want on Falcons. And you've got all the room in the world for Skitter to get that form. Yes, you can kind of play early on the Primal Beast, but you're getting these items still up here. A blink coming out, you get interrupted when you pulverize away. And Amar on that Razor, again, it's just camping bot. There's no trap, there's no rotation. You are farming well enough on Na'Vi, but your big weak point is that Abaddon. Like, in comparison, playing catch-up in Abba just does not feel good. Radiant's timing for Got the Juice isn't going to be particularly impressive. Trying to catch mid.
Land of Brambles. Making, going to be perfectly fine to walk out of there. Already found the mid-tier 1. Meanwhile, Got the Juice is being chased down, is forced to pop the borrowed time to survive. Will be able to make it out. ATF, though, still completely free farming that bottom lane. Meanwhile, mid, Crit, and Malrine gonna show up to see if they can run away. Miku's still alive. They are flying. Here's the veil. It's not good enough yet, though. The bounce is way out. It's getting in. Here comes ATF. They'll find Ready. They will not find Zion. They both make it out of there.
A nice little dodge coming out from Miku on point, using that changing of the guard facet quite nicely there. It does waste a couple of spells. He did have to drop Static Storm. Okay. The new facet, all right.
All right.
Hopefully it fixes again with a reconnect.
I didn't enjoy this.
Oh, ATF. Bag abuse.
Bag abuse. Of course.
In another life, ATF would have been a stand-up comedian, honestly.
I mean, I suppose.
Why? What do you got to say about that, John?
I mean...
Go on, critique him. What's the problem now?
No, I mean, Amar's a funny guy. I just don't know if he always means to be funny.
Oh.
You know?
Oh.
Right? Like, he would make some good bits. He's the kind of comedian who's just like, yeah, that's not really a bit. I'm serious. No, he's like, yeah.
Well, I think you're a dumb guy, John, but I don't know if you always mean to be dumb.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair
enough.
I don't mean it, John. I don't think you're actually dumb. You're a smart guy. Don't worry.
What weathermancery is this? I call down
I'm
the
not even
thunder!
looking at you. I'm looking at the game, Mike. We got the unpause going. Got some action on the map. I say action, we're at 2-2. You know?
That's all right, John. That's all right. 13 minutes in, 2-2. Action-packed Dota 2 here right at the WC.
Could be worse, I guess. You could be watching maybe some Southeast Asian Dota. Not happening any longer. This reminds me a lot of some Southeast Asian Dota, doesn't it? Very patient. Get some farm going.
I mean, you can appreciate it. You know?
I guess the panel sold me in high action Dota because there's a lot of aggression. It's not yet there. It's coming.
You know you can't trust the panel, John.
No, but but
we'll get the terrorize away. Malrine probably not going to try and dive through that tier 2. We'll just leave it. Zayat's another way out.
Just dodging that. Just have to throw at the terrorize, a little bit of a cooldown to play with, but it just doesn't feel like either side can capitalize. I will say in terms of the macro game, again, you look at where Falcons is playing, they're right across the river, they're denying farm away from Na'Vi. You know, it's a very static game. This is the space for Na'Vi. They feel too comfy in their bot jungle. They haven't been able to cross into the top jungle as effectively either. It's a map space that you're not really equalizing on for Na'Vi, and for Falcons, this is just going to build into a more noticeable lead later on, especially as, again, perhaps at this point, just wait for the 20-minute mark, wait for these timings. The catch-up game for Got the Juice is still very, very rough on the Abaddon, lacking 1.5k gold for that full Radiance. And for the Abaddon, until you hit Radiance, you're not really recovering. So you're just kind of stuck with an Abaddon that just needs a lot of room. You've got some ways to play, but you want some BKBs up as well, Na'Vi. You want the risk of running into Falcon's own BKB timings. BKB timings on either side. Falcons has more ways to deal with that debuff immunity. They've got the punch to stop teleportations away. You've got a Razor who doesn't care. You've got Pulverize that doesn't care for debuff immunity. So if it is a weight on multiple BKBs here, that goes right into what Falcons would probably want anyway. Maybe the smoke starts to pan out and start to get some room out here for Na'Vi.
Let's find out, Jonathan. Na'Vi, 3-man smoke. It'll run through the mid lane up the roof towards top. PMA is already there, ready to go. Na'Vi, I mean, they've already found the top of mid-tier 1 tower. Like, they've been finding objectives, is the thing. I don't think Na'Vi in particular want to play slow, but so what else are you meant to do at this point? If nothing's happening, it's like, do we just go make errors?
Yeah.
You know? That's kind of what it feels like right now for Na'Vi.
Yeah, all they can do if there are no opportunities presented is just your farm game. You know, you're making these smoke moves across. You do manage to set some good forward vision up top. Maybe now you can just invade that top jungle, as Falcons is doing on the bot. Trade out the farm space away. That lead coming out from Falcons in this interim period now, just 2k up, so we're at 2-2. 2k, 16 minutes in. Very nice so far. You are reaching some big points here again for Falcons. It's a BKB on Malrines forming up. Well, Mainstream is coming soon for Skitter. It's another BKB as well. Again, it just feels like for Na'Vi, if you wait for these BKBs, start to lose damage. Now all of your damage is pretty much on PMA. Maybe Niku can start to do some work. Don't have anything to really speak of on Got the Juice just yet. And again, you don't have a way of dealing with that debuff immunity here for the side of Na'Vi, so it is concerning that Falcons are dodging out so well, because once you hit those BKBs, how do you stop Pulverize? How do you stop Amar from just running you down? I don't see the answers.
Yeah, I mean, the BKB is certainly going to be very scary. And you look at the third, rather than the second of the graph, it's all Falcons. PMA is the only guy for his team at the top right now, and it looks like ATF's about to take over anyway. Sure, things will escalate once the Radiance is up. Right, maybe that's what it is. Still Got the Juice. He just needs more farm. Fair enough. He'll have his Radiance coming rather soon, but it does feel like Falcons are going to be more than ready soon to start smoking up his unit and forcing these fights. And Na'Vi, we'll see how they counterfight. Certainly the net worth advantage is not looking too pretty in their favor.
No. I mean, again, at least you're number 1 on PMA. It's just that BKBs kind of ruin you here in the Timber Saw. You could still find a backline. That could be the way to go here for the side of Na'Vi. Just look for these softer supports. Time to try to just get him out of here. Try to remove the Sage from sneaking. Let's simplify just a tad bit. I suppose there's always that team fight threat as well. If you can kind of get Static Storm going, if you can if you can find that timing before the BKBs. Again, there's just no opportunity. So safe. Vision game has been pretty decent as well from Na'Vi. Like, it's not like they haven't been trying. Again, that top ward by the Tormentor is still standing. They've got some good sentries blocking off the vision game from Falcons as well. There is a ward down bot from Falcons, but they haven't been able to really catch anyone out down there either. And you do at least manage to finally get that Radiance going on Got the Juice. So now the actual recovery can happen. Sure. They spot the gate movement across the map here as well for Na'Vi. Get some punishment.
They're gonna find Snaking. Snaking not able to get through the twin gates in time. PMA can take his life away, and certainly will. No problems there. 3-2 now. 3k advantage the way of Falcons, and
Radiant's
Na'Vi
middle tower
finding
is under
kills.
attack.
We've got one every 6 minutes for
Yeah.
Na'Vis thus far.
Yeah,
So this game's going about as slow as our careers did, John.
yeah. It's a little bit quicker. You know, and you know, it's not ending yet. You know, it's not close to the end,
I
Mikey.
was going to say, I don't think it's that
Radiant's
slow.
bottom tower is under attack.
It's not that slow, and we have a
Dire's
ways
top
to go.
tower is under attack.
Unlike us, I suppose. You know, just short, Mikey.
These young men, they have plenty of promise.
That's in comparison to whatever we're doing here. 3-2, 3K lead. Is there anything I forgot to talk about?
How was your day?
Pretty good. You know, it's been nice staying here in Riyadh. It's been a lovely time.
It has been a lovely
It has been
time,
very
hasn't it?
lovely. It's been a very different experience from the tropics, let me tell you. I'm not used to dry air. It's amazing to me that one can stand outside and not actually feel sweat.
It's all about the shawarma, Jonathan.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Oh, we had some good ones.
It's next level. I'm never going to be able to eat one in Australia again.
No.
It's very disappointing, but yeah. My eyes have been open.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to miss the food. It's been amazing.
Moving back into the game, though. We're happy you enjoyed your reaction.
Yeah,
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Probably not.
maybe not.
RV, looking for the 20-minute power reach. It's going to be a reach. No problem. But the juice will take that.
Not the one you'd want to find. Maybe you're hoping for an amp damage or haste. Even an illusion at this point, just a split push. Some initial BKBs coming up.
Are
Blink
scanning.
BKB up for Malrine. I think Pulverize is ready to go. Even Amar standing by with his own BKB. And heck, even Skitter looking for his own BKB now. So triple BKBs are coming on. And you've got the BKB out for PMA at the very least. You can maybe put yourself in the front line here, but you're not going to do damage, is my concern for the side of Na'Vi. Fermenter is spawned up. You are tempted to go for it on Falcons, but they've got to clear these wards out, and they will.
Yeah, absolutely. There is Na'Vi coming in, though. They're not going to let this Tormentor go for free, but it might be a little bit awkward trying to get to this high ground area. They have grouped up, 3-man smoke behind Got the Juice, who's trying to bait Falcons into moving in for a fight, but they will not. They'll just continue to hold the high ground around the Tormentor. Snaking. Down to Malrine, his PMA still trying to get a save. Should eventually happen. Can he survive? He cannot. They do pick off the timber. That's it fight so far for Falcons. Just to come in, they're on to ATM. No damage. ATM, he's too down, big at the moment. They'll walk away with the BKB. They'll chase down Chris still here with the Got the Juice, but Pierce the Veil has been off. He is fine. Is now the bedroom view. Still trying. Is the Willow, but it's not enough. As ATM will jump in tank. Some of their bedlam damage, and Zayats will indeed die back on the Dark Willow. All that farming, very clearly paying off.
That it is. Again, it's this triple BKB timing. It's the fact that you have a lot of ways of working around it on Falcons, and you're just not really set here on Got the Juice to do much. I mean, can't really expect too much from this hero at this point yet. So maybe the Manta, even the Blink, chances are you'd actually want like a Bash or an Orchid up in this kind of game to provide some more control for your team. And this is the explosiveness we were expecting here from this game one. 4-6, yes, 7K lead is insane for Falcons to find. After all that tension. This is where the concern starts to kick in. Do you have enough to carry through this game? Will your own BKB suffice? You're working into your own here.
What
We're
weathermancery is
getting to that
this?
point as well. You've got the Ags being queued up for PMA just to get some more durability and damage out, but and you've pretty much free-farmed this entire game for Skitter. You've free-farmed this entire game for Amar. You're about to hit your next big items to come in. You've got the refresh being queued up by Malrine as well. Double BKB, double Pulverize is going to be a concern. I'd say one big timing you could maybe bank on here for Na'Vi is a Disruptor Ags. Like that mute can kind of counteract all these BKB saves. It's just, yeah, I don't know if you can expect that farm to come on to Redis anytime soon.
It just feels like it needs too much. It's a 4-star, probably a Glimmer Cave. You look at Falcons, they waited until they had all that utility. You know, you had the BKB, you had the Rod of Atos. It's just so hard to kill anyone. Like every time you jump snaking, he snowball. Every time you try to go for crit, he pops Pierce the Veil, you can do nothing. It just, the fights are taking too long for Na'Vi, and they just want to burst Falcons down ASAP.
Radiant's middle tower is under
These are not going to be short, easy fights.
It's going to be quite the skirmish. And when it comes down to prolonged fights, it's hard to tell who actually wins out. I would say you'd have the edge on Falcons. Razor does tend to enjoy being in the middle of things here.
They're feeling it. They feel the momentum now. Falcons looking in the mid lane. They've seen the big trouble. Primal is back in almost, but I think he needs to get out of this. And he will do so as now PMA will move in just in case. Falcons, they are playing this game very, very clean. ATF looking for more, won't find anything else. Just the patience to retreat, the right targets. Oh, look, there's two supports. Let's just jump back in. It's just very clean gameplay.
Clean, very calculated out. Looking at the issues here for the side of Navi. That initial just do what he wants. Hope for the best. Maybe an opening appears. Maybe you get this BKB from Niku, and it starts to help your cause. But it's getting harder and harder to see that angle that they have to take. For Na'Vi, the ideal has to be pickoffs. If you want to find something in the next 5 to 10 minutes, it has to be single target pickoffs. It feels like when it comes down to team fights, you're not going to have too good of a time. You could try to maximize this. Try to set some aggressive wards forward. Maybe try to snipe out Skeeter if possible. Get some information out. I mean, they're spawning Malrine. This is Primal Beast, of course, unless you drag every hero here. It looks like they might be attempting to.
They're going to try and start something down at this bottom. Snaking is the closest target, but a nice quick blink away from snaking. But no victims here from Falcons down to the bottom lane. There's your BKB of Niku. Got the Juice is currently trying to get a blink up, and I think that's going to be very important for him to actually be able to jump somebody he can hit. You might be waiting out at least that blink on Got the Juice before you try for any more fights. Happy Days, Riddies has queued up the end. So you do have the X coming out. It's going to take a lot, but it's not going to be that quick. There's not that much area on the map to farm for this poor disruptor.
No, maybe if you get a greedy enchantment later on, maybe the way to go, just boost that up a little bit more. Stall for 9, you'll eventually get it with the greedy. If you get lucky, of course. Is up and flying out to Got the Juice. So, and you have a way of getting on top here on the Abaddon. It's just that it doesn't feel like that's going to be a concern. Like, yeah, the mischance is going to be annoying for someone like Skeeter, but you care about it on Malrine? Not really. You care about it as much on Amar? Not really. You can kind of rely on your natural output. Surge and Eye of the Storm. So, I know, it just feels like there's still something missing here for Na'Vi. They'll get some room out to push a bot tier 1 at the very least. Finally equalizing some map control in, taking away all the tier 1s on Falcons. So equalizing the game just a tad bit, but you don't mind on Falcons. And you're using the map space really well. You've invaded the bot jungle, you still have control on your top. And he's
He's still around. It's a great target. Niku, he's still trying to battle to get away, but they will catch him. Another successful engagement for Falcons.
And this time it was, again, a very clean set of fights. It's just, you have everything you could ask for. This blink on Snake. Yeah, you miss out the free cut very quickly. Yes. It's just not enough. I'm not sure what you're hoping for here, Malrine. That's exactly what you're doing, Malrine.
Yeah. You get a Malrine, top lane. Jump in, they'll try for crit. Here's the barrel was popped. They'll get the drinking buddies out from Snake into Buddha. Crit is actually just casually walking out of there. Got the Crit, they're going to make a shot. They'll find them where to eventually. Crit will go down. They'll get something for their trouble. Seeing how challenging it is to just get even a support.
Try out a lot. Again, this is the consequence of Na'Vi not finding those openings. Falcons are reaping the benefit. Just harder to play into them. You have to deal with a refresh on Malrine, double pulverize, double BKB on this Primal Beast. It's just insane.
Skeeter. Aegis up. Saw him there underneath that vision, but Skidder, he'll leave the area. Looks like they're not feeling confident enough to try. Nature's Prophet quite yet. Fair enough. So we're at a 5 to 10 now. 10k advantage sitting Falcons' way. They'll have a minute left on the Aegis. Almost 30 minutes into the game. More BKBs to come out. Again, if you're wondering why they're playing so slow, John, it's because one of these teams is leaving today.
That they are.
It's scary.
It's a lot in the line. This is your...
He's jumping in. Miku was caught. Zion. With the BKB trying to get away. He's going to have to fight back, Miku. He will go down. Ready will drop the boom. He'll look for more now. PMA got the juice trying to retreat the snake from the chase of the snowball. Just the nick of time. It's a four-man wipe on the side of Falcons. Only survivor has got the juice.
I mean, you're seeing some of that impact on the Abaddon and the illusions. The damage is there. You're just seeing the issues. You can't really fully commit to the hero up front. The way these fights, it's almost endless. You've got the blades up, onslaught, you've got the refresh BKB. Malrine is just playing a maniac in this game. Let's see, Tanic up and running now for Amar. Like, so a lot to be concerned about on Na'Vi. And it's hard to see again where the light is for Na'Vi. You're still getting that build up. The AC is going to be impactful from God the Juice. Maybe at that point you can start to put your body forward. Kind of clean things up. Again, you just look at how this fight broke out. You got a solid window to try to burst down Malrine by himself. You just don't have output.
You don't have output. You didn't have the numbers, Niku. I mean, he made it as hard as humanly possible to try and get him. Once he ran out of that Jingu mastery, though, he knew he was out of luck. He's still doing very solid work in the middle of these fights at the Timber, but they're just completely ignoring him. Everyone's just completely ignoring him the whole fight. That's the way to do it. Falcons, I'm yet to see them lose a fight.
No.
I'm yet to see them lose a fight this game one.
Again, it's just been really smart, really consistent out from Falcons. Very calculated play so far. We'll see if Na'Vi can try to bust that open to get the smoke out themselves. This is a big timing to smoke into it. Babyliss of Skidder. Cautious here on Na'Vi.
It's spooky, Jonathan. It's very spooky. Falcons, they're in position. They've got that high ground again. The Jews will have this smoke broken. They know Malrine's in the tree line somewhere. Eventually, they're going to run into ATM. He just can't get out of there. Malrine, double pulverizing. They do get crit. Got the juice is gone a boom. The worst possible start for a fight you could have asked for Na'Vi. Probably not making it. Difficult. You couldn't have asked for a much worse though. You blinked right into it. It's just all your damage is gone.
Nah, and again, it's just the beauty of that razor pick. You're right into an Abaddon. It's not protected. You have to always be cautious about that.
You'll have to do something. Chain away. There's no TV playing. He's got very low mana. They find all of them.
This is getting scary for Na'Vi. I mean, you talked about that silver lining of PMA getting some damage out. I don't know if you'll even have the durability to get that damage out with the full Ags up and running here for Malrine. Having that innate break. Not going to be feeling good for the Timbersaw up front. And it's just so much magical damage. And like what the panel said, no one's going to be building Auras. So there's nothing to block off those little shards running around. There's nothing to block off the trample. There's no one going for fight. There's no one going for Crimson Guard. And yeah, you can kind of take advantage of that on Na'Vi, with Falcons also not having the aura, but it just feels much more impactful on Falcons to not have to deal with any barriers here.
Very challenging game now. 20k advantage for Falcons, 8 to 18. bottom. Who are they chasing? Poor old Riddy's just trying to get some healing lotuses for himself. All he can right now. Riddy's will die. Snaky will cut him off on the bridge. He is getting closer. The aghanim scepter on that disruptor, but I really do feel like at this stage, it's just, you may as well give him farm priority, but I don't know what else has changed in the game.
No, this is it. It has to be that static storm mute. It does have greedy, so eventually that gold will come in. It's fortunate to find out with his tier 3. Just a little bit more passive gains for you there to hit that timing. But I don't know. I mean, this is kind of crazy. 34 minutes in, 21k lead for Falcons, 8-19, and for Na'Vi, I mean, you are closing into a Scotty timing here for Niku. The slow, the stats for the Monkey King are going to feel nice as well. We've got the overwhelming link coming out for God to Juice. A lot of forward pressing for him once he has that up. Just doesn't feel like it's going to be no, like you look at a burst window, it just doesn't feel very clear cut. Maybe if you can tank through effective damage here, and got the juice and by the spade, find the connection for PMA and Niku, things can start to look up. It's just Falcons have not made any sort of mistake at all. Kind of provide you that leeway. A little bit of a smoke out from Falcons now as well, as they've got the full Satanic up and running on Skitter. See if they find a flank around. A little bit late for the Shrine of Wisdom, but maybe someone in the triangle.
Earlier. Malrine just an absolute menace on this Primal Beast. 8-0-6 is his scoreline this game. Gonna find him with another crit. He'll get the fear in time. Science to drop to boot. They are just dropping like flies all across the map. They're still looking for a way to break back into this game.
They are. I mean, they get both Shrines of Wisdom. That's a glimmer of hope, I suppose. The issue is off of those skills. The Roshan coming up for Falcons. They don't even need Opera here, so there's enough damage here. And Skinner alone to just get that done himself. Deal with a secondary life and a Roche banner coming in here. Falcons has this high ground opportunity. And for the side of Na'Vi, your hope still lies on Riddy's. If you can get this Axe before the high ground prep comes in, or before you fall for two.
Don't break the train. Malrine is just too good when it comes to this Primal Beast. He is just too darn good for him.
Knowing how to get those chain stuns going here. 8-22, a very comfy game for Falcons, and Na'Vi, it's just a struggle. Just looking for a way of right now up against Falcons. They're about 900 gold away from his full ads on Riddy's. It's just that, like, it has to be a perfect start. And if you can somehow find a static storm angle without the blink up on your disruptor, and things can start to look up. If you're dealing with 2 lives, refreshes up, you have just gotten way too many resources in Falcons that you might not even care for the mute on static storm.
No, it's good as hitting like an absolute truck with that has damage. This tier 3 tower just not going to last whatsoever. ATF even just slowly sieging top tier 3. They will go through the mid racks. Na'Vi, they're not going to buy back on Niku. They'll wait at least respawn to try and defend. Meanwhile, as you're seeing, we are still seeing Riddy's trying to rush that aghanim scepter, but he's still about 600 gold off. Still needs time. The Falcons, they do look to retreat, but I wouldn't blame them for just wrapping around top lane and pushing again. Why stop?
I mean, there's no reason to stop when you're 30k up at 37 minutes in. Almost 1k per minute before Falcons is an advantage. And again, I mean, you have nothing to worry about. There's still so much time on the Aegis. Still have that refresh. BKBs are up. Door kicks in doesn't even matter right now for Skitter.
No, it didn't. Rapidly going away. Tier 3 tower now gone. Falcons still seeing 0 threat from Na'Vi, and I don't quite blame them. Oh, bro, just look at the damage.
Plus 110. Nice and easy.
He's missing most of his hits, mind you, for whatever reason. You call old Skitter.
Got it. Maybe this is the fight.